How's it going, guys? It's Marcus. This video is going to be focusing on Miss Lapis Lazuli. Lapis has always been one of those characters that the fan base of Steven Universe seems to have pretty mixed opinions about. For the most part, people either love her or hate her. Not saying there aren't people out there with mixed opinions on her, but when it comes to the majority of comments throughout the internet I see related to Lapis's character, the comments are generally black and white. Me, myself, am one of those people who does have mixed opinions on her that lean more towards liking her character rather than disliking her character. I'd say I like 70% of her character and dislike 30% of her character if I had to, put it into numbers/percentages. It comes down to how she acts on Earth. When Lapis is happy and going with the flow with Steven and the rest of the Crystal Gems, she's one of my favorite characters to watch in the series. The episode The New Crystal Gems is a perfect example of Lapis in her prime and why I love her. Casually interacting with Connie and Peridot in a cute and funny manner while also demonstrating how strong her ability is, but using that ability to help the citizens of Beach City. The parts I don't really like about her are the very pessimistic and fearsome sides to her character. Lapis was so terrified of the diamonds to the point where she was willing to leave Earth, abandon Steven, Peridot, and the rest of the gems to avoid another war. The diamonds didn't even show any physical signs that they would be coming to Earth. Steven told Lapis that he ran away from the diamonds, but they don't know for sure that Steven went back to Earth, at least at the time of when this episode came out relative to the plot during the time. He ran from them on Homeworld, and that was it. Not only that, but Lars was the one who was able to get Steven back to Earth in the first place. The show hasn't confirmed on screen that the diamonds themselves know about Lars' existence or the power that Steven granted him for that matter. Even though it wasn't said on screen, maybe Blue, Yellow, and White Diamond know about Lars because of what he was doing to, screw with Emerald on Homeworld, but I highly doubt they knew about the portal that's inside his mohawk and what it was capable of. Lapis was just so terrified about the fact Steven came into contact with the diamonds and came out alive that she assumed they were going to drop everything to come to Earth and, ravage the planet. Lapis had been MIA from episodes since she left in the episode Raising the Barn, but then we saw her again in Cant Go Back a few days ago. Cant Go Back was a solid episode overall. It was very nice to see Lapis finally get a song in the show, and just seeing her again was just nice in general.
Those bluest skies above me, those funny feelings I had never felt before I met you.
This episode displayed to me the things I love about Lapis, but also the things I dislike about her in the span of the 10-minute episode. General summary of the episode is Steven used Ronaldo's telescope and saw the barn on the moon. He went to the moon with Lion to confront Lapis. When he found her in the moon base, she told him she had been using the sphere inside the base to spy on Beach City to see what's been going on, more specifically what Steven and the Crystal Gems have been doing. Lapis was feeling super lonely on the moon, but still felt too guilty to go back to Earth because she left in a pretty unprofessional manner. Lapis was especially scared about Peridot's feelings if Lapis were to return to Earth. Lapis was scared Peridot would still be really mad at her. She sang her song, which was so amazing, and then she and Steven talked for a bit more in the sphere room, and it seemed like she was coming around to the idea of returning to Earth and not being too stressed about the outcome of her return, or the diamonds and all that good jazz. Or I should say bad jazz. Sadly, once Steven had his dream that involved the diamonds as well as the possibility of Pearl being the one who shattered Pink Diamond, Lapis got all freaked out again. Lapis is so scared of them, it's insane. This dream gives even less evidence that the diamonds will come to Earth than when Steven was on Homeworld. That at least had some possibility to it because Steven actually met them face to face and dipped. But this dream was a dream from the past with Pink Diamond having a conversation with Blue and Yellow. We know now that the reason Steven was able to have these dreams about Pink Diamond is because his mom was Pink Diamond, so he was able to access some of her memories because of his gemstone. Steven was way more focused on the aspect of the dream where it looked to be Pearl being the one to shatter Pink Diamond, but Lapis was super focused about the diamonds in general just being in the dream. She got so scared of their mention again that she hightailed it out of the moon base and vowed to get as far away from Earth as she can. I know Lapis has gone through a lot, but I wish she could just make up her mind already. We know this isn't the last of Lapis. She's been an all-over-the-place character when it comes to her position in the show, but this isn't the end of her. At least I really hope so, and I assume most of you can agree on that, whether you like her character or not. But how will she return after seemingly being so confident in saying she's truly done with Earth this time? Well, I believe the knowledge of Steven's mother being Pink Diamond could be the key to getting Lapis back to the side of Earth. A lot of gems that Steven has met have seen Steven and Rose Quartz as the same to the point where they not only call him Rose, but they'll ask him about things that have happened in Rose's past that they expect Steven to remember. They just think Rose changed her appearance but is still the exact same gem with the exact same memories. That principle can still be applied now that it's been revealed that Rose and Pink Diamond were the same gem. If these random gems that met Steven saw him as Rose because of the gemstone, gems like Jasper, Eyeball, the diamonds, they should, in theory, now see him as Pink Diamond herself because of the gemstone as well. With all that being the case, I think that should be able to ease some stress off of Lapis' shoulders. She's so scared about the idea of the diamonds coming, so if Lapis learns that Pink Diamond was Steven's mom and he had Pink Diamond's gemstone all along, I could easily see her coming back to the Earth side because of this. But how will this information get relayed to Lapis? If she's going to be flying light years away from Earth, then there's going to be almost no way Steven will be able to track her exact location. The only person I can think of who will be able to track her down, whether it be on purpose or by accident, is Lars. Lars is still in the process of flying back to Earth, so it's very well possible he'll run into Lapis along the way. However, since Lars and Lapis have never met, he wouldn't, go out of his way to get her on his ship. She would have to fly into it, like a bird colliding with a car on a main road. I know it might sound a bit convoluted, but to me it seems like, a pretty logical way that they'd be able to meet if they were to meet in space. Lars can notice he collided with Lapis and brings her on the ship to the sister because, maybe she ends up being injured after colliding with the ship. Steven then comes through his mohawk to help and then realizes it's Lapis. Eventually the topic of Steven having Pink Diamond's gem will be brought up to give Lapis her confidence back with Earth life and, see that, wow, if Steven has Pink Diamond's gem, maybe he can actually do something about the diamonds. If that doesn't happen, another possibility is Lars gets back to Earth first but still has the sun incinerator, right? He still has the ship but he just parked it somewhere on Earth. Or Beach City. At this point, I'd say Steven already told Peridot and the rest of the crystal gems he came into contact with about Lapis and Pink Diamond. So with Peridot and Lars knowing this information, they could set up the space to look for Lapis, and if they find her, they can tell her about the Pink Diamond stuff. I'm saying Peridot could go with Lars because she's arguably the closest life form to Lapis on Earth besides Steven. The Sun Incinerator is an incredibly fast ship as well, so I'd assume it can fly faster than Lapis's wings, so it shouldn't take them too long to catch up with her. I think I'd like to see the first possibility happen more because it'd be a really cool scenario to see Lapis and Lars interacting one-on-one for a while before Steven, presumably comes to the scene. With the other possibility, he would be interacting with Peridot, which would be funny, but I think for me personally, it would be cooler to see that, the two personalities of Lapis and Lars interact with each other. Now that Lars has developed incredibly since the beginning of the series, I'm really eager for him to interact with more gems and not, be scared or creeped out about the idea of aliens and all that. He's recently interacted with Garnet by learning about Rose Quartz's past. Not an accurate representation, of course, after what we recently learned, but he still listened to Garnet's story and seemed very intrigued, so I'm very excited to see him develop relationships with more gems, and Lapis would be a great next choice. Plus, it could give more confidence to Lapis herself, seeing more or less a human like Lars commanding a ship of 4 other gems and having very high confidence in that job. If she sees someone like Lars, who used to be an easily frightened person and cared too much about what other people think, turn into something so amazing, that can motivate Lapis just as much as finding out Steven is Pink Diamond's son and has her gemstone. Maybe this won't be the way Lapis returns, which would be totally fine. If it's not, I'm sure I'll still enjoy the way she's brought back to Earth. I'm hoping she will love Earth permanently now and will, kind of have the Lars effect where she becomes a unanimously loved character by the fandom rather than, the feelings of her being so split. Just please don't completely abandon her character. There's a lot of evidence that suggests that Cant Go Back won't be her last appearance, but you never know. I can't predict the future. It's very, very unlikely that Cant Go Back was her last appearance, but you never know. I can't predict the future. Anything could happen. I feel like a lot of gem characters that have been in multiple episodes, like Jasper, Bismuth, Centipedal, etc., haven't really been giving proper conclusions, and Lapis now especially falls into that category, especially after being so extra confident about getting as far away from Earth as possible at the end of Cant Go Back. So I have very, very high confidence that she will return, Jasper will return, Bismuth will return, and Centipede will return, and all these characters that have been in multiple episodes will get proper conclusions. I feel like they really deserve them, I really do. It is going to be some very exciting stuff, though. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about this theory. Do you think my first possibility was correct? Do you think my second possibility could be correct? Or do you think Lapis will return in a completely different manner or not return at all? I'd love to know. And before we end this video, I would like to serenade you guys with my version of Distant Shore. Became so lovely, those blue skies above me, those funny feelings I had never felt before I met you. I thought I'd stay a while, I tried to learn and smile. Many colors I have never even known. Maybe I'd find myself sitting on that distant shore. Maybe I'm not alone. But I think think that is going to be it for this video, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like down below if you enjoyed, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I also have a Discord server as well. The link for that will be in the description down below. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Peace out. Take care. Bye-bye.